Hey guys, Eric here, and last week we got some news about the upcoming Spider-Man movie as well as the upcoming season of Daredevil Born Again. I thought we could take a look at this and then talk about what the future of Marvel connectivity looks like and my general thoughts on all of this because I have a lot to say about it and I thought this is a perfect opportunity to really dive into that. So let's talk about the actual news itself. So it says here, Daredevil Born Again and Spider-Man Brand New Day are officially connected, which shouldn't be a big shock. I mean, the MCU is a connected universe, so it shouldn't be a big shock to anybody that these movies and TV shows are going to have some sort of like connective tissue between the two of them. We also know that some of the characters are going to cross over, so that isn't really shocking or surprising to me, and I don't think it should be shocking to anybody who watches my content. It says here, speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Marvel Studios head of TV, streaming, and animation, Brad Winterbaum, addressed whether Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and Spider-Man Brand New Day will connect in any way. Both MCU projects are set in New York and will be released in 2026. The Daredevil series comes first, arriving on Disney Plus in March, while Tom Holland swings into theaters on July 31st. Over at EW, he had this to say: "We are communicating a lot with the team on Spider-Man Brand New Day to make sure there's coherence there. We don't want to spoil anything, but it very much exists in the same world, and it's important." Goes on to say, "We're in a shared universe together, but I would say just the Daredevil comic books, the Punisher comic books depicted a certain tone and an idea of New York in a different way than Spider-Man's, but they both exist in the same universe. It's similar, everything lines up and impacts are felt, but we're able to tell different stories." So that means they are going to be pretty solidly connected in the sense that these characters do exist at the same time in New York City. Now, here's my thoughts on this. If you've been watching my content for any amount of time, you will know that I do not have a problem with the concept of quote unquote homework when it comes to movies and TV shows. I believe if you love this stuff, you engage with it and it doesn't feel like homework. It is a hobby, it is a fandom that you're a part of, and you love doing it. But I do also realize that is a niche portion of the existing community that engages with Marvel content. And if you look back at something like The Marvels, which would be Captain Marvel 2, which included connections to two other TV properties, you will see that it doesn't always work bringing these things together to try and pull in viewership from the TV to the movie side, if that's in fact what you're betting on. And in the case of the Marvels, I believe that movie should have been called Captain Marvel 2, and then maybe The Marvels as a subtitle or something along those lines. I think they rolled the dice on the popularity of those TV shows in a big way and hurt the property in itself, because The Marvels isn't a bad movie. I quite enjoy it. I think it's got a lot of solid points, and many people that watched it on streaming who didn't see it in theaters also thought it was a good movie. So I just think that issue was trying to convince people to come in and watch a movie that did connect to a bigger universe for stuff that they may not be familiar with. Now, when it comes to Daredevil, we love Daredevil over here at the channel. I love the show. I love the character. I've loved it since the Netflix days, so no complaints with that. I think it's he's a solid character, so no issues there, right? But we do know that Daredevil didn't perform as well as we expected it to on Disney Plus with Born Again. Now, there were some stumbles with it, and I think that season 2 of Born Again will be better than season 1, but why do we believe that this character specifically would have such a big impact on a movie like Spider-Man Brand New Day? Now, it's quite possible that Daredevil is not going to be a big part of that storyline, and it's just going to really be the Punisher stuff connecting together Daredevil and Spider-Man in that way, which is fine. I think that's okay, and we know that Punisher is getting a special as well over on Disney Plus, so there's a lot of moving parts here. So I do understand why they all want to keep that cohesion and fidelity going through on all of these properties. However, is this going to hurt Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man, that franchise in itself, is massively popular without any of the other stuff that Marvel has connected to it. Spider-Man is just a popular character and does well regardless. So will this hurt Spider-Man Brand New Day? I would say probably not. I don't think people are going to pass up seeing a Spider-Man movie because it might have some sort of story elements from Daredevil, Born Again Season 2, or anything from The Punisher. I just don't see people walking away from the Spider-Man movie or the theaters because there might be a couple of things they're not totally in the know about when it comes to the TV shows. But does this mean that Marvel is diving back into the idea that all of these things should be connected in a greater way, which is something that I thought they were moving away from? I thought they decided that it's better to have sort of a loosely connected TV and movie world and not something so directly connected. So is this going to be directly connected? Is this going to be something where we're going to see actual story elements from Daredevil Born Again Season 2 brought into Spider-Man Brand New Day? Okay, I would say probably not. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think we're going to see any continuation in that way. I do believe that what we might see, if anything, is stuff ancillary to the Punisher and Kingpin that may tie in to Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So that if you're a fan that watches both of them, you get a little extra out of all of it. But if you're someone who only watches one or the other, you're also not going to be missing anything by watching these projects. But it's a branding thing. For me, it really is a branding thing. At this point, Marvel and everything being pulled together and branded together as one big story might be detrimental to Marvel moving forward, because a lot of people think of the term homework as a bad thing. I know I'm on the opposite side of this. I thought about it on the Nerdcast. I thought about it with panelists. I thought about it with people in the chat. I still don't believe it's homework. I think homework is considered a dirty word. I think it's a word that people use to sort of draw hype away from projects and things like that. I think that anyone who is a fan of this stuff wants to engage with it in a meaningful way, and that it would not be considered homework. That's just my thoughts. But again, I'm not always right. I'd like to think I am, but I'm not always right. But anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Is it homework? Is it not homework? How do you think these things will connect? Will it be a big connection? Will it be a light connection? We're going to talk more about this in the Nerdcast, so let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.